Two ultimate hacks to change the way you see the world, to make your world a better place. And I didn't say the world, I said your world. So that's an important distinction. So right now I'm just walking through a local college campus. Katie had to come down here. She got a test for her nursing program, or it's actually a class before her nursing program. But anyways, the two major hacks, I'm going to touch on them in a lot of depth. So the first one is what most people run away from. The first hack, and I got my glasses on the back of my hat, just a little, or not my hat, my head, and it's just kind of a habit to put them on the back of my head. Um, when people put hats, shit, I can't even get my thoughts straight. When people put sunglasses, you see baseball players and stuff like that, they put their sunglasses on the back of their hat. It's not a fashion statement. It's not to try to be cool with it. They're literally doing it because the glasses don't want to show in front of the symbol on front of their hat. So they're, showing their team pride by, still showing the symbol on their hat and keeping the glasses on the back of their cap. So just a interesting little side uh, note about glasses and why I'm on the back of my head. I'm not trying to be cool and put them on the back of my head or anything like that. It's just kind of a habit. Anyways, the hacks that are going to change your entire world. Number one, pleasure. We all want massive amounts of pleasure. And unfortunately, we think too short term. So we go for pleasure in the short term. So your ultimate life, what are the things that are most important to you? What are the things that are good for you? And on a basic level, the most people you talk to, you're gonna talk about health, wealth, and uh, happiness. Health, wealth, health, wealth, love, and happiness. Right, the four pillars. So, what is good for you health wise? What is pleasurable health wise? Obviously, going to the gym. But how do you frame it in your mind? How do you make it pleasurable in your mind going to the gym? And we're just talking about generalities here, and you can break this down in a ton of different ways. But in generalities, what is good for you health wise? It's simply going to the gym and eating healthy. But the way most people frame it, the way most people think about it is it's painful, which is the opposite of pleasure. So they think going to the gym, oh, I gotta go to the gym. Oh, it's such a drag. Oh, it makes me sore, it makes me tired, all that good stuff, right? But if you try to model the people that are most successful with it, look at The Rock. The Rock is one of the most fit people. And I'm not saying everyone's got to look like The Rock or anything like that, but the point is the way he sees it in his mind is that it's so pleasurable for him. He calls it his iron paradise. So imagine the way you just perceive things by just simply talking to yourself the way you think about going to the gym. Do you think about, oh man, I got to go to the gym today? Or if you're like The Rock is and you say, oh, my iron paradise, think about the way that changes things in your head. So if you can actually start to change things, you can do that with everything, your health, wealth, love, and happiness. So that's an awesome hack. I'm not perfect in any of these areas, but I know this is the way. I know it for a fact. You hear it from so many people. Wealth, same thing. What is good for you wealth wise? And this is a big debate. This is a whole nother, not even a whole nother video. This is hours and hours and hours of other videos. Um, Wealth, is it staying in your job that you hate? See, here's the thing. Health, wealth, love all add up to the final part of it, which is happiness, right? So we could talk about a whole bunch of different things here, right? But I want to stick to the two main hacks that can literally change your life. And I actually think I'm getting to maybe a dead end here or the parking lot. So I might have to turn around. Pleasure. So whatever is good for you in your life, associate pleasure to it. And I'm not just talking about short-term pleasure. I'm talking about pleasure in the long run. This is a long game. Shit, we're gonna live. I don't know the science behind it. I don't study this stuff, but the average life expectancy is increasing every single year. It's going up and up and up. Technology, all sorts of different medical advances. We're gonna live longer than ever before. So, just being aware that you're going to live longer just puts a whole new reality on things and just puts a whole new perspective on things. But pleasure, link pleasure to the things that are good for you in the long term, not pleasure in the short term, not, I'm going to go and eat a bowl of ice cream and cake because it gives me pleasure in the short term, but in the long term. And I'm not saying it's bad to eat a bowl of ice cream or cake or anything like that. It's good in moderation. Um, But just think about what you want, and it's different for everyone. Link pleasure to the things that you want. Maybe you don't want to look that healthy and you don't want to look that fit. And I mean, again, that's a whole nother debate about, what level of fitness or health that you should try to attain. But whatever you want, what do you optimize for? Because the end goal, like I said, the ultimate goal of this whole thing is happiness. That's the end goal of it. So shit, I mean, if you want to eat 5 bags of candy, you know, every single day, every single morning, every single evening, whatever, and that doesn't bother you, that doesn't pain you, that doesn't sit with you the wrong way, you know, do it. Go ahead, do it. But then that becomes a whole nother debate because I'm under a tree here, it's a little dark. That becomes a whole nother debate because then your life expectancy is going to go down, your health's going to decline, and it's going to affect all areas of your life. So then it becomes pain rather than pleasure. Whatever you optimize for, whatever is good for you, though, is what you want to associate pleasure with. So, just like the example with The Rock associating working out to his iron paradise. I mean, what a great way to think about things, an iron paradise. And the other side of it is pain. And I know there's going to be so many people out there that they can't handle the pain in the short term. They can't handle a little pain. They can't handle the pain of setting setting the bowl of ice cream to this side or setting the cake to this side for pleasure in the long term. Too many people are short term focused, but pain in the long term, right? What is painful in the long term? Maybe pain in the long term is having an unfit body. So associate massive amounts of pain to what you don't want and keep giving yourself more and more and more reasons why it's painful or why it's pleasurable, because reasons come first. Reasons come first, and then the actions, the strategies come second. If you have enough reasons to do something, if you have enough reasons why to figure something out, then you'll definitely figure out how to. Because pretty much with anything, when you do it the first time, you're not going to be perfect at it. When you do it the second time, you're going to refine it and you're going to make it a little bit better. When you do it the third time, you're going to refine it and make it a little bit better. So very, very rarely do you hit gold the very first time you do something. So with that being said, if you have enough reasons why to do something, that's why you got to associate massive amounts of pleasure to doing something. What are the pleasurable reasons why you want to do something? What are the pleasurable reasons why you want to get in shape? What are the pleasurable reasons why you want to make more money? What are the pleasurable reasons why you want to improve your relationship? And the list is endless, and the list is so unique to you. The list is completely yours. The list is yours. It's your life. It's your world. What makes you happy in those areas? And I think I'm gonna make another video on this. But adding all of those things up, adding all three of those categories up, health, wealth, and love or relationships, however you want to talk about it, love or relationships, all add up to happiness. And that is the end goal. That is the ultimate goal. Too many people optimize for just one of those categories. Too many people optimize for just health, and then their wealth and their relationships are shit. Or too many people optimize for wealth. How many stories have you heard about, people making millions and even billions of dollars, and they're fat and broken in the head, in a sense that they can't have a sustainable relationship with anyone, or they're just a jackass or a dickhead, and have terrible relationships. So they all add up to the ultimate goal, which is happiness. So the two, just to recap, because I know I go off on a little bit of tangent sometimes. I kind of get sidetracked. But anyways, hey man, this is my second time doing this thing for a long video, a long period of time. It's not scripted, just literally just coming out of my head. So, you know, I'm super happy with myself because I'm not passing judgment on myself. I'm not saying I got to be better, I got to be at a certain level, or I got to get my thoughts together clearly. Literally, just by doing it, just by taking a ton of action and doing this stuff, I know I'm going to get better at it. Somehow, some way, just by doing it, by reviewing and trying to learn and see what works and see what doesn't work, I'm going to get better at this. So, anyways, I don't even know where I was going with that. Just to recap, pleasure and pain. You want to change your life? Those are the two hacks. If you link enough pleasure to doing something and enough pain to not doing something, you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure out how to do it, right? If you associate a little bit of pleasure and a little bit of pain to doing something or not doing something, you might do it, you might not. If you don't associate any pleasure to doing something or pain to not doing something, you're not going to do it unless you're forced to, and no one's forcing you to do anything. So it's like school. You see kids go to school, elementary school, junior high, high school. It's a drag for them, man. It's painful. They go in, they don't want to sit in class, they don't want to pay attention, and then they graduate and they don't know what the hell they sat there for, for however many years. So the school system needs to be more pleasurable. They need to put more fun into it. And I'm sure that's not true for everyone. I mean, there's definitely kids out there, there's people out there that, really enjoy school, and they enjoy different classes, different subjects, everything like that. So I'm not trying to bash the school system like that, anything like that. I'm just saying it's not pleasurable for kids, so they're not getting a lot out of it. But think about what are the happiest times of your life? Ton of pleasure, right? What are the worst times of your life? Ton of pain. So if you can associate enough pleasure and enough pain to doing things, you can figure it out. That's what I'm doing right now. If you want examples of my own life, I'm actually trying to take that example from The Rock. So I've always loved working out. I've always loved fitness. I've always loved going to the gym, and ever since I was in shit, I don't know. My dad took me to the gym the first time when I was in fifth grade. Wasn't into it huge then. Wasn't ever trying to be like a big fitness junkie or a bodybuilder or anything like that. But once I saw the benefits that it could help me with baseball, then I got obsessed. I did it. I went to the gym, literally overkill. I would literally, I mean, overkill. I'm not just trying to say that. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. Overkill. Literally killing myself, killing my body. I remember going on road trips in college. We went to a road trip. It was either Connecticut or New York. We played 4-game series on the weekend. So one game on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. We had a 4-game series just about every single weekend during the spring. 4-game series. So obviously, you think, okay, you're probably tired from playing 4 games in, 48 hours. That was nothing. I was a junkie. I was a maniac. I was a nut. My junior year, I was down to 170 pounds. I think I started the season, not this season, probably the new year at about 190 pounds. I lost 20 pounds just because I wasn't eating enough during the season, because it's really tough to get, nutrition in. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's really tough because you're traveling all the time. You're on the field a lot. You're on the field for multiple hours a day. But where I was going with this, 4-game series, came home at probably 11 or 12 at night on Sunday evening. And as soon as I got off the bus, I said, Coach, open up the fucking weight room. And I went in the weight room and I got a fucking workout in just because I was a nut. It was just something inside of me, like, I had to do it. It made me feel better. There it is, pleasure. I link so much pleasure to it. But anyways, right now I'm trying to link pleasure to it in a sense that, it's gonna give me more energy. It's gonna give me a better train of thought. It's gonna help me thinking clearer throughout the day. It's gonna help my skin. It's gonna help the way I look, the way I feel about myself, my confidence. It's gonna help so many different areas. So just trying to link pleasure and pain to everything I want to do or don't want to do. But one thing I found out when doing this, it helps to write it down. It's simple to think about it. It's simple to say, I want to link uh, this pleasure to, let's stay on the trend of working out. I want to link pleasure in a sense that it's going to make my body look better, and it's going to help my train of thought, and it's going to help my skin, and it's going to help my confidence, and it's going to help all of this stuff. Well, it's one thing to think about it, but if you have a list that you can constantly go back to, and you can constantly look at, and you can constantly evaluate, and you can just go back over it, because you're not going to think about that stuff all the time. But if you come up with enough reasons, you write that shit down, you look at it, and you look at it again, and you look at it again, and you look at it again, and you keep adding to it, and you keep monitoring it, and you keep changing it, and you keep adjusting it, eventually it's going to work out. I promise you. You can take that shit to the grave. Anyways, day number 2 of 67. A couple things I've learned so far. I gotta get clearer. I gotta speak clear. I gotta get my thoughts a little bit clear. I know exactly what the fuck I want to say. It's just a matter of organizing them and communicating them with you guys. If anybody watches, or communicating them into words the way I want them to come out. Because I learn all this shit and I apply all this shit, but communicating it is a whole nother animal. It's like, and I know this firsthand because I played baseball, played Division I baseball, was obsessed about learning anything baseball wise after I was done playing. Probably should have learned more while I was playing. Obsessed, but I knew you have to learn how to communicate it. It doesn't matter how much you know, it's about how you communicate it. So these 67 days are going to help with that 1,000%. And if this helps one person out there, if one person sees my videos and it helps them and something makes sense, everything's not going to make sense. Maybe everything's going to make sense. Not everything's going to make sense to every single person. But if one piece of information that I say over the next 67 days helps one other person and it makes their life better, therefore making the world a better place, it's all worth it, man. So this 67 days isn't all about me. I don't expect anything. I literally don't expect anyone to watch it. But if someone does watch it, or if I'm able to repurpose this content, or if I'm able to just use this, if nobody watches this content for 67 days, if nobody watches this, but I can repurpose it and I can look back at it and I can review it and it helps me make a 68th video, or it helps me make an Instagram post, or it helps me make a Facebook post, or it helps me make a speech, or helps me connect with someone to improve their life, then it was all freaking worth it. But if I sat back and did nothing, if I did 0 videos for 67 days and I didn't improve myself and I didn't improve my communication and I didn't improve all the things I'm going to improve over the next 67 days, I wouldn't be making the world a better place. I'd be selfish. I'd be sitting at home. I wouldn't be doing nothing. I'd be doing something. But Probably not something as not important, but probably not something as meaningful as this. So I know this can help people. I know I can help people. I eventually want to help people someday, with their mindset. Just get their mind right. That's like I said in my first video, I'm so interested in psychology. It's all mindset, man. Unless you're physically disabled, unless you have some sort of special needs, it's all in your mind, man. So even people that are physically disabled and have some sort of special needs, they even have the right mind. There's people out there with the right mindset, better mindsets than you and I. There's people that have made millions of dollars speaking and writing books and inspiring others. So hopefully, man, make the world a better place. Hopefully improve someone's mindset. If I improve one person's mindset over the course of the rest of the year, shit, it's all worth it. So anyways, getting back to where I started, I think I've explored this whole damn campus in 20 minutes, but have a good one, guys.